It's time to live your stronger life. Hey, I'm Sammy, physio coach and nutritionist, and your hype girl for creating your stronger life. Here, we ditch the quick fixes and build real strength inside and out. So whether you're here to tone up, drop the body fat, build muscle, mental resilience, or ditch the diet culture, or just feel bloody good in your skin, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. Okay, so you've finished your fat loss phase, you've hit your goal, now what? Do you just go back to eating whatever you want? Well, not exactly, and this is what the exit strategy or maybe a reverse diet strategy comes in. So let's break it down properly because there's a lot of confusing information out there about what a reverse diet actually is. And to be honest, there actually is kind of two different ways of describing a reverse diet. There's more so what you will typically see in the research literature, what a reverse diet means. And then there's kind of like the nuance of like what a reverse diet is in reality and the way that we do it. And I want to caveat all of this with context is key and there's a lot of nuance involved. There is not one straight answer and there are so many different ways to approach this process depending on the individual person. It really, like the appropriateness of this phase is very individualized to the person. But put it simple, reverse dieting is a gradual structured increase in your calories after a fat loss phase, instead of just jumping straight up to maintenance overnight. However, this is where I'm talking about there's two different nuances. There's two different kind of versions of a reverse diet. There's the one where you do come up to your new theoretical reverse diet, your new theoretical maintenance calories, because after you go through, you lose a significant amount of weight, your maintenance calories change. You literally need less calories to function day to day because you weigh less. So it's just easier. It's like literally carrying around 10 kilos of like weight in your backpack and then taking it off. It's a lot easier to carry the backpack empty than it is with 10 kilos, right? So it uses less energy. So your maintenance calories is going to be lower than what you started at. So you could just jump straight up to your new theoretical maintenance calories. And then if they're kind of low and they kind of suck, then you can gradually rebuild those calories and bring your reverse diet higher as your body does adapt, because your body will also be down-regulated from dieting. So you come back to your lower end of your theoretical maintenance and then you do a reverse diet to help push your new maintenance calories up a little bit higher. Your body's going to kind of function more, you reverse some metabolic adaptations. You'll be able to get your calories up a little bit higher and still maintain it. That is one way of reverse dieting. Another one is, if you've been really low calories and your body's like really like it's been a big slog, then sometimes, not if it's been a big slog, that's probably not the best word. If your calories are really low, sometimes it is better to do a slow reverse diet from the get-go, not jumping up to maintenance and then reverse dieting, doing it from the get-go, doing a bigger jump and then reversing from there. But again, context is key about when you actually should be doing that, and I am going to break that down in a little bit. But it's not a magic metabolism hack or anything, and it's not a free pass to just eat whatever you want. They're both strategies that can work in different circumstances to help prevent unnecessary weight regain after a fat loss phase and help you to kind of stabilize and maintain your results long term. And the reason why these are different really effective strategies is when you have been in a deficit for a while, like I mentioned, your body has adapted to running on less. So it's just adjusted down, regulated. It's a bit like your phone going into low power mode to conserve your battery. And so by jumping up to, big amount of calories straight away, you're going to likely see rapid weight gain, mostly water, and there will be some fat, and it's going to feel like everything you just worked for disappeared. So a reverse dieting helps to kind of like ease into that process. For people who have sensitive tummies, it helps to kind of be a bit more gentler on your digestive system as it slowly gets used to more calories. It can help women who get a little bit scared to eat more, get more confident with eating more, because you still have to keep going through that process, but it can help with your confidence with eating more. For some women, it can help with their appetite, gradually returning it. There's lots of different reasons why you may or may not do it. But if you're starving, hungry, you're hanging on for dear life at the end of your diet phase, just go back to maintenance. Stop fucking around and just go straight back to your maintenance calories. So as you can see, there are many, many different reasons and different preferences at the same time. And not everyone needs a structured reverse diet. If you've done a short, modest deficit for a few weeks, nothing extreme, you can probably just return to your maintenance calories over a week or two without much drama. But when you've been in a longer, more aggressive deficit for several months, you're quite low calories, tracking closely, that's when a proper reverse diet can really pay off because your body's adapted more, so the transition back can be helpful to be gradual. The evidence shows that it's not like if you come back to maintenance, you're not going to put on weight because it's maintenance calories. So technically speaking, just coming straight to your maintenance calories after a fat loss phase is perfectly fine. But that's where that nuance that I was talking about comes in. It is, what is that theoretical maintenance calories? How's your energy, your appetite, your comfort zone, like your digestive system? Like, there's so many other things to kind of factor as well. Personally, for me, I like doing a reverse diet. I have quite a sensitive tummy, so I find doing a reverse diet is really gentle. It eases into it, and I'm able to really rebuild my calories super duper high pretty quickly still, but I like to do a reverse diet. I know some women after a bodybuilding show will just jump straight back to their maintenance. They prefer the recovery method and just go a lot quicker. It's totally personal preference, plus factoring in a few other things in the background. But at the end of the day, you end up getting back to nice, juicy, beautiful, high calories that are well above 2,000 calories, ladies. Well above 2,000 calories. I reversed mine all the way up to 2,700 calories. Everyone's, again, unique and different, but it is just that is what it is. So here's what it looks like in practice. A reverse diet usually looks like small, planned calorie increases every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how your body responds. And that can be anywhere from 100 to 150 calories generally, and it's mostly coming from carbs and a bit of fat. You don't generally add more protein. Protein usually just keep exactly the same, and it's more carbs and fats that we're adding in. And you're tracking your weight, how your body responds. It's normal for your weight to spike a little bit and then it will settle back down. But if it's roughly stable or slowly creeps up in a healthy way, depending on how lean, like if it's for a bodybuilding show, you want your weight to come up slowly. But if your goal is to kind of maintain, then we maintain within 1 to 2 kilos. That's very normal. Having even 2 to 3 kilo fluctuations just in normal life is very, very normal and very fine. So weight will stay stable. It'll have a little bit of fluctuations. Then you're totally fine. If it spikes dramatically and holds, you just hold at that level for a bit longer before you increase again, just to see what is actually happening in your body. Give it time to see what is happening. It's not a rigid formula. It's more of a responsive process. You're watching, adjusting, and being patient. Being patient, woman. Mistakes that a lot of women will make, and here's where it goes wrong. You either rush it, bumping calories up too fast because you're impatient, or they use reverse dieting as an excuse to go overboard and call it strategic. Reverse dieting still requires tracking. It still requires structure, and it is not eat whatever you want and call it reverse dieting. In fact, you should be eating pretty much exactly the same routine of foods in your dieting phase, in your reverse diet, and at your maintenance. It's just more of it. The other mistake many women make is they panic at the first sign of the scale moving up, and then they just abandon the whole process. Some water retention and normal fluctuation is expected as your body adjusts. Food in your stomach. It's all normal. That doesn't mean it's failing. It means you need to be more patient. So the best option that you can possibly do, though, is to work with a coach to plan out a structured reverse diet with weekly calorie increases based on your data and keeping you going even when you spiral over seeing the changes on the scale. If you're doing it solo, increase by 50 to 100 calories a week, track your weight daily, average it out weekly to see the real trends. And at a minimum, don't jump straight from a deficit to whatever you were doing before, because whatever you were doing before got you in the place of needing a calorie deficit to begin with. So you need to maintain exactly what you're doing, but just more of it. More food, more beautiful, healthy whole foods with a sprinkle of fun in between, and keep tracking. The diet doesn't end, or the fat loss phase doesn't end when you actually stop being in a calorie deficit. It ends when you come back to your maintenance and you learn to maintain there for a period of time. And this is where the Google Maps analogy fits so well. You've taken a planned route to your goal. Coming out of it isn't a wrong turn. It's just the next leg of the journey, and it needs its own plan too. Fat loss is not the finish line. What you do after matters even more than the fat loss journey itself. So if you've hit your goal and you're not sure what to do next, this is it. Structure, patience, and a gradual increase. Not a free-for-all and not fear either. And if you would like a masterclass that visually breaks all of this down in a lot more detail than this very short podcast, then come back onto Instagram and just message me reverse dieting masterclass, please, and let me know you came from the podcast, and I will send that direct link straight to you. Thanks so much for listening. If you found this episode valuable, please rate, review, and subscribe. And I'd love if you shared this on your Instagram and tag me Sammy_livestrong. And if you'd like to learn more about my coaching and join the Project Livestrong family, please message me Livestrong on Instagram and I'll see how I can help. I'll see you next time.